Living in Beijing, your thoughts normally about China would be lots and lots of bikes, but things have changed in the last, say, 20 years. Now there are lots and lots of cars and these electric scooters and motorbikes. There's 6 million cars in Beijing. So yeah, things have changed. The first time I came to China in 1991, no one could afford cars. There were a few cars on the road, but mainly just owned by businesses, taxis and buses, and the average person only rode a bike. But now people can afford cars, so everyone buys a car, and there's 22 million or 23 million people in Beijing. So that's 6 million cars. So what do I use for transport? I have this car here. This is a Buick. It's made by General Motors. General Motors in Shanghai. And this is a Buick Excel. This car is sold all over the world. They sell them in Australia, where I am from. They sell them in Australia as a Holden. They sell them in the UK as a Vauxhall. They sell them in the United States as a Chevrolet, and here is the Buick Excel. So we drive this, me and my wife, and we have the kids in the back in car seats, so that's nice and safe. Then I have this electric scooter. There's lots of electric scooters in China, all different sizes and power. This one here is a 72 volt, so the way that works, this has 6 batteries, 6 12-volt batteries. So 6 times 12 is 72. They have smaller ones, 60 volts, 5 batteries, and then 48 volts and 36 volt. But this one was the biggest one I could get at the time. I've had it for 3 years. It's not a bad bike. I've only replaced 2 things on it since I've had it. I replaced one cable, the handbrake cable for the front wheel. I replaced that because it was binding up and not returning very well. And I replaced the actual throttle. This is the throttle here. Of course, it doesn't go to a cable or anything because there's no carburetor. This is electric. So this throttle is actually a potentiometer. So as you turn it, it changes the voltage reading, which gives you the speed to the speed controller. And mine, what happened, I was riding and then the bike was losing power, and no matter how far you turn the throttle, it wouldn't go faster. So I tested it, it wasn't changing in voltage, so I replaced it. The good thing about China is, of course, I bought a new one for like 30 yuan, so like $8 or something. Very, very cheap. All the parts are very, very cheap. So this has a top speed of around 50 kilometers an hour, and it's got a range of about 70 kilometers. The speedo reads 65 kilometers an hour as top speed, but it doesn't do 65 kilometers an hour. The speedo is not accurate. And the other vehicle I have is this one here. This is my Changjiang 750. It's a Chinese copy of a BMW R71. This is an old People's Liberation Army bike, which has been refurbished and painted up as a BMW. So this is my other mode of transport with the sidecar. Soon I'll be taking the sidecar off. I've had the sidecar on it since I bought it, so I've had it for about 3 years, but I'm going to take the sidecar off, put 2 new tyres on the bike, and I'm going to try riding it as a solo. I'm very interested to see what it rides like as a solo. So that's what I use for my transport.